Feature Friday.
The freshest.
It's a full album release, ladies
Full
and gentlemen.
album. Happy Valentine's Day, everybody.
And it started with Taeyeon.
That's that. That's
INVU,
that.
go give it a watch. She obviously released the pre-release one, which was very good. I watched that, that's why we didn't check it out. But let's give it a watch, the title track. Let's break this stuff down.
That's beautiful. Whoa,
Change the lyrics and look at the posture of those women, dude.
Wow, gosh, that's huge English, and we're gonna also make it a little bit bigger.
It's so crazy when they do stuff like in 4K. It looks more real than your eyes.
It's kind of wild.
Reality doesn't look as clean as that.
No, it doesn't. But you want to be part of this.
There's like a mirror top of it.
It's like you're singing.
Compass.
I don't know. Wow.
Korean sounds so cool, damn. Kind of love.
It's amazing. Love the chorus.
Well, just before we get to the drop, pull it back to that. That again, this is something really good that I'm seeing many industries implement better and better, which is press play. So we're obviously seeing resemblance of water and droplets of things, right? But before, what would happen is that would simply be used for visual aesthetics.
Yes.
And you wouldn't really bring that into the auditory experience of the song.
Agreed.
So even if you're not watching the video, because these are promoted as a package, the video and the song, to promote the album. But something that they're introducing better is like which is kind of like a drum machine. It does resemble the droplets of water, and then
the ripples of the water.
Sure. Then the pieces flying around.
And then you hear the isolated parts of the beat itself also in the background. Yeah.
And then you start to see the droplets and listen to the instrumental.
Bing boom.
Yeah. So that's what visually, all of a sudden, it's like that idea of IMAX in the cinemas, right? They've connected both experiences rather than selling you an isolated one, accompanied by good music. This one is a full-on experience, auditory and visually. And I think this has been an evolution of just. I mean, Dolby did this really well when they started introducing surround sound and things like that. It's like all of a sudden, holy shit.
You're inside of the scene.
Dolby Digital, yeah. And then obviously as we progress in all industries worldwide, there are specific ones that are doing it better. The Korean industry is certainly one of them. The indie music industry has been one of them for a long time. But those type of details, even the Philippines is starting to do that stuff in the more commercial stuff, like SB19 and stuff like that. But commercially speaking, that wasn't really apparent.
It wasn't, especially not when it came to music videos, for sure. I think the integration of an experience rather than a song has definitely been increased in the last year. I would totally agree with that. And the high reverb, like empty big room, open air situation.
It's really well done. Fucking hell.
It's fantastic. Such intensity. So I INVU. Right. Okay, I love that riff. I love it. That's the type of stuff that gets stuck in your head and you cannot get rid of. And I don't think I want to either. I think this is the high replayability value that comes from this type of
commercial
melody.
track, right? Yeah, and I think that's what she's really good at. Essentially, she's really proved this throughout her whole career. It's unbelievable. She only has 3 albums. You know,
full albums. I think this is one of my favorite. I think her discography overall
has 3 albums, 3 EPs.
It holds this really cool aesthetic of like, it's fun, it can be a lot of different concepts, but the underlying tone is sultry and it's captivating and it's, I don't know, magnetic to a certain point, and I think it comes from her vocal texture naturally, but it's so enhanced in this individual concept as we're seeing it here.
I think the more we sort of discover Taeyeon and the music, and the more we have off camera and on camera on the podcast and stuff, it seems more obvious that she is probably a great representation of what a good pop artist can be. So it's packaged beautifully.
That's right.
But with after you open the package, within it, its true essence, there is this magnetism that doesn't lose its value. It doesn't lose its true value based on face value.
That's right,
So
or the facade.
Exactly.
Yes.
It to a certain extent, in my opinion, it gets better when you open it.
I was gonna say it's highlighted throughout the discography itself.
And in my eyes, she is one of the better live performances that you can find in the whole Korean industry or even worldwide. But you see that this. She's like a synth with a flute. But there is no resemblance of that in the visual aesthetic.
That's right.
So this is what music, it seemed to be a couple of 3-4 years ago.
Yes.
That's kind of just the contrast I'm trying to make.
I love how the kick drum are the arrows as well. That's so cool. Wow. Sorry.
No, it's fun.
Look at this. Look at this woman, people. Look at her. What in the earth?
I wonder what she's a fan of. Like, does she like Lord of the Rings? Does she like, what kind of mystique shit is she into? Because that's awesome.
She would be a perfect elf.
yeah.
If you asked me, I mean.
And there are obvious sort of mystical references here.
Well,
you know,
it's
like
very
the bow and arrow.
There's a lot of Greek mythology going, like underlying tones to it. Right. I think the temple itself in which it's at, the architecture, the statues that they're alluding to. I think there's a lot of Greek mythology underlying tones to it.
If she has spoken about this, do please share it below, because it's interesting to see what the inspiration of things were.
Definitely. See, you see the architecture is very...
I love that bit, man, of the song.
Me too. See, I see the Greek mythology influences.
Got nails.
Heart of glass.
Cool.
That's gorgeous.
What is it?
INVU. That's so cool, dude. Okay, that's where I think of the choreographers, and I'm like, God bless you all, choreographers.
INV.
And then she goes the ooh, ooh, ooh.
Yeah, again another good visual and sound. Put that again. It's high quality music.
Nice. Huh? Oh my God.
There's references to St. Valentine's, to the arrows.
Yes. Okay, the smoky gray eyeshadow is everything. Can't wait to hear this live, dude. Ooh, he gives me the goosebumps. That's gorgeous.
Again, I'd like to listen to that whole section again, but this is the best example now of
atmospheric sound compared to an visual aesthetic.
Yeah, because you could have chosen to represent that kind of a big reverb section of vocal breakdown, which I'm really glad they decided to go with this atmospheric set rather than a dance break. It would have been inappropriate actually with this type of song.
Or a crazy, also how vocal
EDM.
or a vocal show off.
Power.
yeah, you know, a high belt and 3,000 riffs to come down of it.
Because I think at this point, everyone knows Taeyeon can sing. And arguably, she's one of the best singers in the industry. So there's no reason to try and say, okay, do a fucking belt and then do a whistle and then come down, do a run and then dance break. It's like, there's no need to do this stuff. Especially, but again, it's all
in its due time.
Well, individual differences are a huge highlight. You focus on whatever the artist, whichever artist it is, strategies apply to them.
But this kind of really does remind me the same vibe and aesthetic. Obviously, completely different concepts, but vocally speaking, and like the whole atmospheric sound and integration of visuals and everything. Taemin's Criminal.
Oh right, yeah.
With
good collaboration.
Yeah, well, absolutely. But you see that it comes with like maturity of concepts as well. I think it comes with time. You really sink into this brand new skin that is they're not making music for the sake of let's drop an album, but for the sake of it's art.
Yeah.
And there's an underlying tone to it, and there's subtext, and even the lyrics are even more complex than the catchy tune and everything, and I like that.
So you add these layers, you introduce even more reverb, you create a vocal breakdown, but they didn't do it in all the other scenes. So
that's right.
Not with the sepia colors and the oranges, not in the Greek-like sculptures where they introduce a different type of reverb. They introduced it when she's in space, right? And they create that spacey vibe. So
especially with the planets, the spheres that come into play.
Take away all the drums, just leave the hi-hat. So that
it's absolutely stunning.
It's a satisfactory climax.
But it's soft and subtle, it gives you goosebumps, bro. Beautiful, absolutely stunning.
INVU.
Fantastic, insane. I love that. Yeah, so I actually believe that this particular song and this music video itself really captivated that magnetism that we were talking about right from the beginning, because it didn't only highlight the sultriness and the sensuality aspect of it all, but it also magnified all the mystic elements that you were hearing. And God, the sound production with the visual directions that they were getting were so aligned, and I think it makes the whole experience so satisfying to witness, because it's like a brand new stamp. I believe that this could be the beginning of something really big in the whole industry when it comes to visual and music integration of the experience.
Certainly.
I'm really excited to check out the whole album. Let us know if you'd like to see that.
Yeah, let us know what you guys thought. Again, I just want to say thank you. It means the world you guys enjoy the ways we do things. I think we're obviously now leaning more heavily on what we actually like doing, because I'm sure all of you have already heard the song and stuff like that. So we do appreciate you enjoy the breakdowns and stuff. If you haven't streamed the song, go give it a listen and then come back to the video.
Yes.
Everything will make a lot more sense. And maybe even listen to this so you can pick out the details and then go to the song.
Yeah.
But apart from that, see you later. We'll be away and for a couple of days, but everyone should be happy as we schedule content, I think.
That's right.
And happy St. Valentine's Day.
Yay.
Is it St. Valentine's or Valentine's?